too. We have a forming distribution.
Spot 5, on fry 57, spot 2.
We have this low volume, and we have IB low for the back test. And we're pretty darn close to some other levels. Lower band of the capitulation out of the open too. Can't really see it that well, but it's there. Beautiful. Who's taking weekly lower band? Weekly lower band's at 500. Yeah, there's a nice confluence zone down there. I'm worried it's going to be front ran here, but we'll see. Maybe I'll scale in with a little bit of. Here we are.
S&P 500 now down over 0.5%, touching the lows of yesterday.
I have one long at 12 3/4. Nice. I don't have the indicator built for NinjaTrader. I do not. Only on TradingView. Chris, did I just short the low volume node retest? Yeah, it was the top of this distribution. It was the bottom of the climax anchor. It was a whole bunch of things. And IB low from yesterday. So up 20 points, guys, from this level that we talked about. You guys aren't taking these trades. That's 2 trades in a row we've called out. And it's not just me. You guys are seeing them too. All right. Before I even said anything, you guys were already, I'm looking back in the chat, you guys were already talking about the trades before I even started talking about them. It's awesome. That's how you know you're trading a system with clear defined setups. You know what we're looking for, what levels we're looking for that makes sense. All right, news break-in. Michigan sentiment.
4.8%, 4.8%, lower than forecast at 5%. 5-year inflation at 3.5%, 3.5%, lower than forecast.
Lower than forecast, not by much, but it's lower.
55.9, 55 at spot 9, and which is lower than forecast 57.5, and current conditions at 61.7, 61.7, higher than forecast 60.8.
me get this going here. I mean, if you manage to stay in that, you know, good 20, almost 40 points. Yeah, I mean, I think scaling out, Jay Scott, I mean, if you're taking the long here, this is a high conviction long, right? We just traverse from weekly upper band all the way down to lower band in like, you know, half an hour, right? That when we go that fast from one band to the other, I think I'm always thinking we're going to catch a band. It was also monthly VWAP or monthly upper band, sorry. No. Monthly VWAP. Thank you. Monthly VWAP, weekly lower band. So, you know, I think the clear profit target, you know, we have some low volume nodes forming. We haven't quite gotten back up to this level, but we already caught a back test on that. So, you know, I wouldn't get greedy with this one. Especially in such a strong downward market. I don't know. You can't ask much more than, you know, 40 points in 6 minutes. That's nice. I don't care who you are. 30 points in 6 minutes is nice. I can make your whole day, one trade. Let's see. Look, guys on YouTube, having a good morning. I'm just trying to keep up with Steven, the cash machine.
Stocks extending their forward announced direction.
Swinging around that big tick energy.
Posted at the University of Michigan sentiment reports on the feed for those interested.
There it goes. Jay's got big tick energy. That is kind of funny. I didn't make that up. I heard that somewhere else, but still funny. Big wick energy. Yeah, NQ's got that big wick energy. Or the, you know, NQ is like the girl you want to date. ES is like the girl you want to marry. Happy Friday, Dr. James. Welcome to the channel. Hope you're doing well today. We're having a good day so far. Crypto stream was very slow last night, but I managed to pull off a couple interesting ones. I got people copy trading me on BTCC. That's a cool feature they have there. Literally, people are signing up just to
Retain
copy my
features
trades
for
in their
devices
account.
and devices.
It's crypto only, crypto futures. All right, there's nothing left in sight now. I say I caught a good Ethereum short this morning. Yeah, I mean that's one of the drawbacks is the fees. Sometimes I'm just covering enough to cover the fees, so there's not much profit. But when I catch a good one, it moves. Yeah, crypto fees are, that's just kind of what it is. Here's what it is. It's accelerating now. Yeah, I'm not, I mean, we're in the middle of nowhere.
This is the extent of declines to 0.75%.
And Q's down 1.3.
But keep in mind, there's no particular news catalyst for this move to the downside since the open today. The initial data release at 8:30 a.m. Eastern time today saw the PCE numbers come in as expected. The futures there initially saw a positive reaction to that news, but again, since the open have been extending these declines.
$363. I'm afraid to look at my long-term stuff now after this. Ooh, there it is. Free fall. We'll just put that away for now. I mean, I don't see any change yet. This looks like a free fall still. So you're saying you fade the IB levels, no breaks? All right, let's do a little chicken. How's not chicken, but check-in. How's everybody trading today? It's 10, a little after 10. Market's been open for 40 minutes. We've gone essentially straight down. Cumulative deltas pointed straight down. Open interest of negative 2860, 2900 contracts. And we are still quite heavy, right? So I've quite nice little profits this morning. I'm not going to give these up so easily. Let's see if we can catch a little bit of the bottom. I'd like to see a little bit of a distribution form. See if we can get some structure. Come on. Sure appears we're in free fall here, doesn't it? Come on. Want to dump more. I have to cancel this one. Damn. See if it build a little structure, I'll get back in. Do this. Super weak. Can't catch a bid. Or can it? All right. So Jonathan, when I talk about a little bit of structure, meaning we spend a little time at this level and we're building a distribution on the volume profile, right? I want to see this normal distribution form, then I can expect at least a little bit of this before we either break lower or higher. I'll teach you the VWAP Wave strategy. I teach everybody the VWAP Wave strategy. You too are welcome to learn the VWAP Wave strategy. I have tons of videos on YouTube. There's a free Discord. You are welcome to be taught the VWAP Wave strategy just like everybody else. Here goes. I want to take a little peek at a composite here. See where our real this is actually a really interesting level. This is yesterday's low. $338 is better. 330. I'd be surprised if we see some more support here. Intermittent bounce. Up to 481. Got long at 440. I hopped on over to this volume profile. Look at this key level here, guys. It's incredible. Super powerful. Right here. So nice intermittent bounce here. See if we can catch something. Oh, this is beautiful. 25 points right there, 100 ticks. Not bad. Not bad at all. One contract. All right, be right back.
So seeing here from a Bloomberg reporter, the Department of Justice law says the US doesn't object to converting Fed's Cook's emergency motion to a longer-term preliminary injunction motion, and the reporter knows that this is looking more and more like there will not be a final ruling today.
$25 tick long right there. That was a thing of beauty. Beauty, just ordered the book. Awesome. I hope you enjoy it. It's been getting, if you love it, review it. So more people can know about the book. People love the book. All right, still very weak here in the indexes. Gold has been trading above the second deviation band since 9:30. So talk about strength. There's a bit of panic in the market. We're almost in full-on bearish price discovery to the downside. If we can get down to 200s, that's still another 200 points away. That's pretty far. And this will close out the month and the week. That could also have a lot to do with it. Monday is going to be obviously a new week and a new month altogether. So we'll have crypto. So I should have held my Ethereum short.
A legal reporter as well by the name of Tillman.
It's down 4.5%. I shorted it around 600.
With her lawyers and wants to
Ah.
before the hearing started.
All right, where's the short, guys? This is the first real sign of buyers stepping in here. LJ Biz, I hear you. But I don't mind pushing all-time highs because I own a lot of stuff. So when you own things, the all-time highs feel good. If you don't own anything, you don't care. So what are we thinking? 500? Or you think this thing is going to try and do a return to value? I'm willing to try the 500. At least for a scalp. I got two. Covered one. At 96.25. Bad. 10 points, 40 ticks. Would have been 20. 20 points at this point if I would have held it. That's all right. Allie, you should be able to see the top left corner of the DOM. And when I have a position, you're going to be able to see whether I'm short or long right here. And what symbol. You see it? So I'll show you real quick. If I have a short, it says -1. It shows you what price. Now I'm in a short I don't want to be in. Good. Get me out of this thing. Hey, it worked out. Nice.
Possible meeting in China between Putin and Kim Jong-un.
Hey, Jip Smith. Jip Smith. We did have a clear reaction at this level. Clear reaction. So this is another. So 500 was the level, you know, whether it keeps going down or whether it now continues up, that's anyone's guess, guys. That's why I love to trade level to level. I don't know what price is going to do. But I can usually anticipate with a reasonably high degree of accuracy which levels we're going to get a reaction at.
The Atlanta Fed GDP now index.
There it goes. Anybody take that short? Price discovery continuation short with a weekly lower band confluence. So it was a double layer.
Declines to provide further detail.
We had lower band on the intraday lining up with lower band on the week lining up with a monthly VWAP. That's a powerful level. That's right. I scalped it too. In hindsight, Lopez, you know, now that it's really working in our favor, you know, it's like, oh man, I should have held it. But like this also happens, right? Let me change the color so you can see it a little better. All right? We come up to the level, we bounce off of it, and then we go like this. Right? That could have been the alternate scenario just as easily. Exactly, right? So, you know, in hindsight, it's like, man, oh, this one's really working, but like, you know, 50% of the time it's bouncing off our level because it's a high probability level. Buyers step in and then blast it through the level, right? Now, you know, oh man, I wish I would have taken the profits. You know, we both should have held it, should have taken profits. You know, we always should have done what we didn't do. But if you're going to trade level to level, and I'm not trying to single you out, I'm trying to paint a point here.
As well as Serbia's Vucic, among others.
It's a very common thing that we do. I do it as well. How about my Ethereum short that I took this morning at 6 a.m.? I'd be up $2,000 on if I would have held it. No, user, this is my VWAP Wave System toolkit. So we've called out a couple of really nice trades so far today. Very happy with how I'm trading today. I'm probably going to lock this account up for today. This is my Big Mama Apex account. 250K. I'm not in anything right now. You can see my trades right here when I take them. Position 0. All right, we have an initial balance. It's official. Our new initial balance is at 428 low, 668 high. Let's take a look at the stats real quick for today. So today we're at 240. It's about average. It's about an average initial balance. Our largest one in the last 4 weeks was 427 points. The mean has been 168. The smallest has been 86, and we're about 240. So that's a perfectly average day for us today. Nothing crazy. All right, so it might have seemed dramatic, but we are still in a completely average trading range. It's always good to check the stats. because our perception can be inaccurate. Guys, we've been waiting all morning, but Corey is here. We can now start trading. Yeah, users, I don't blame you. There is a lot going on here. I have a ton of videos for free in the Discord. There's a link for that in the description of the stream. I recommend you hop on in and just start digesting content and videos. There's a lot to learn. Nice, Corey. Attaboy. You take any of these trades? So I caught a price discovery breakdown short. So I took the breakout. That worked. I took the bounce at weekly VWAP. That worked. Back up to lower band. Did not take that short, but that would have been a good one. We caught the long at weekly lower band, which was also monthly VWAP. That worked. And then we caught
the dollar now. It's now in the red, down to what 1%. Looking at the Dixit.
A back test, right? Where was the back test? At the old IB. And then we caught this short here too. The back test of lower band, monthly VWAP, and weekly lower band. So, I mean, we've been just crushing it. Just beautiful setups today. Everything has kind of worked. I got stopped out once for like $700 trying to catch the breakdown because I was managing risk. But this is where I'm at in my Big Mama Apex account. I'm trading at 250K. Hey, man, I'm not one of those people that says demo accounts are bad, right? That's where you practice in a risk-free environment, guys. You don't have to lose a ton of money to practice. Because you're going to lose money anyway. So use the demo account as much as possible. I'm a big advocate. I know we're all here to make money, but also if you try and rush the process, the likelihood is that you're going to lose money before you make large amounts of money. Yep, the reps matter, the screen time matters 100%, especially if you like to scalp. That's a skill that takes practice and reps for sure. Nvidia's down 3%. I have quite a bit of Nvidia. You don't have to remind me. My Nvidia's down. My Bitcoin's down. One of my best buys so far this year, guys, has been Celsius. I don't know if you guys watch stocks at all, but if you do,
President Macron said, I support the Prime Minister Beirut's confidence motion. Also keeping an eye on a legal reporter who's following the case in court. The judge made it clear that she knows that her ruling won't be the
I bought Celsius down here at 35.
Come up with a framework for when an official
it's now at 63. So I have something that's going up a lot. I'm up over 140% on this thing.
Precedent for supporting his motion that would ensure it doesn't get smacked.
No, actually, I got lower than 35. All I know is it's up 140%. It's one of my best long-term holdings so far this year. Super stoked about it. It's up 6% today. I also bought a bunch of this in my son's account, in his custodial account. Actually, that might be the one that's up 140%. So look at that. Look at how we bounced off that level, guys. We're up now 50 points from this low volume node on the composite. I don't, Clay. I use the VWAP Wave System on stocks, and I only trade popular stocks. I don't trade like small cap. I don't hold small caps. Mostly large cap equities, some mid caps. That's about it. So I go through all the popular names, and I have a big fat list. And I pull up my daily chart with my VWAP wave levels, and I go stock by stock, looking at the charts, stock by stock, just like this. Chart after chart, seeing what I like. I have a layout for it too. All right, looks like we're starting to get the return to value. How much of this thing is going to get bought up? We're starting to see a rounded bottom too in the cumulative delta. We might have found a bottom there at IB low. We'll see. Yeah, I mean, I buy most of this stuff in my Roth. So, you know, I can't buy altcoins in my Roth right now. Volume profile, which one? For the composite? Oh, I have the composite anchored to July 17th, 8 a.m. And why there? I mean, this is, you know, eyeballing it. But I'm trying to capture, for the most part, right? So here's price. I want to capture this price range for the most part. I could go technically back here because we have this low, but I don't know. I just picked this one because I wanted to capture mostly these highs, these recent lows. If we start trading above this, this could be very bullish. This could trigger a short squeeze, I think. David Roth with the Roth. Are you related to the David Lee Roth? That would be cool. Also a musician. It's like it's rejecting. Not all that. Surprising that we're rejecting here. Very big level. I have a friend, David, named Tony Bennett. Man, look at gold. You don't even get a spot to get in on gold. Look at this. Gold's just doing what it wants. To the moon. Imagine trying to short gold. Can't go any higher. Need a pullback here sooner or later. Who thinks like that? I know I do sometimes. All right, I'm going to transfer out of this account and I'm going to trade another account. This is my VWAP Wave System toolkit. I have a full walkthrough video on it too, if you guys haven't watched that yet. Ooh, hot dog. Crush it, Zabe. You've been having a couple really good days. They're all trying their heavy hand. They like swinging around some size like Uncle Drysdale. Lone Will says, write a Pine script to get you to find out accumulating or distributing. Now you are in accumulation. Lucky you, but volume doesn't reflect long run there. We'll add more dojis to distract you. Gotcha. Thank you for your input.
According to Federal Reserve reporter Furo, says the argument for cause, quote unquote, that could be argued all the way to the Supreme Court on Ted Cruz's case.
So far, monthly VWAP has held, along with lower band on the week. So this could be the good opportunity to get short. Almost back to point of control here at 462. Holding short at 74 3/4. Looking for about 10 points. Let's go. Come on. Deliver. There goes. And filled. So just right to the bottom of this distribution here. Point of control. $40 ticks. Different platforms will give different. Also, if you're on a different time stream, mine's at 491 here, 460 here. You can get different point of controls based on the data, the exchange data you're getting, whether it's bid and ask or aggregated. Yeah, so TradingView is aggregated data. It doesn't have actually bid-ask data. That's why there's no true cumulative delta on TradingView. So when I'm using bid and ask exchange data like I am on Tradeovate or NinjaTrader, you'll get different levels. No, you're not missing anything. Still looks pretty weak. We're going to get another leg down here. We very might well. We spent a lot of time up here, didn't we? What, from 10:20 to spent 20 minutes there testing that level. So if you wanted that trade, if you're looking for the bigger move, you had to get comfortable with that trade bumping up against that level for 20 minutes. That trade did not work right away. I mean, it kind of worked nicely here, but you didn't get the new lows. Zave, I don't think you're crazy for thinking it breaks IB high. I don't think that's going to happen today, but it's very possible. Anything is possible. I don't think we're closing a 1.3, almost 1.4% gap in the next 5 hours, but I guess it's possible. Anything's possible. Hey, Robert. Welcome to the stream.
This time we have the Canadian budget balance. Previous minus 0.23 billion.
Jonathan says, what made me choose the Tradeovate DOM versus another DOM such as Jigsaw? I don't really care that much. It does the trick for me. You know, Jigsaw obviously is very fancy and very cool and very nice. But I like the ability to use Tradeovate with a lot of different prop firms. I have my cash account with Tradeovate. And it's just web-based and it's just super easy. So, you know, I do like a mix of professional tools, but I also like the ease and use of something being super convenient. Like being web-based is really nice as well. Yeah, this is the Madonna trade. Madonna. I got it.
To a US City news team editor for
Cumulative delta is not looking
hearing has been going on
very favorable. I can tell you that right now.
Both sides have a lot to say. The judge is keen on passing their arguments. So again, this is with regards to Fed's Cook's hearing at the moment. Again, still ongoing. Been ongoing for around 45 minutes.
Boy. And I could fit more candles on the chart with the 2 minute. One minute is just a little too drilled in for streaming. I don't like to get so narrow focused. I mean, why would anybody use any chart? Why are you using the 5 minute instead of the 10 minute? Why are you using the 30 minute instead of the hourly? Any reason? Any reason you check the 1 minute as opposed to the 30-second? Goes, come on. So this is the Madonna setup. Nice. First test and initial rejection of the IB low. That's what we look for.
In 5 minutes time, we have the Canadian budget balance, previous minus 0.23 billion.
Good 10 points already. Anybody take that rejection of IB low? I wouldn't hold it too long, but I think it was a nice play. Allie, what happened? Got some good trades today. You guys getting greedy. No. Were you trying to short gold? Is that what happened? So we just got a price discovery continuation short there on the RTH. Hate to break it to you guys.
Dollar now extending declines to around 0.2% on the Dixie.
Ah, 3 for 4 ain't bad. FX.
One minute to go.
One minute to go. What's happening? We got 11. I have no idea. So Jonathan, I would typically, I would try to use a tool that averaged out buyers versus sellers and gave me strength still. You know, for people that could sit there and read the time of sales, I think that's incredibly impressive. I don't think it's as good as on futures because you get, you know, most of these institutions are using icebergs anyway, so they're not going to send through massive orders of any real meaning. They're going to break it up into a bunch of small orders. So, you know, I think overarching strength versus weakness is the way to go.
Free spot 63 billion. Free spot 63 billion.
Yeah, that could happen, Roadrunner. Started off good, then made one poor decision after another. That happens. We call that the emotional hijacking. So let's see what's next. I do kind of like that double test there. We might get a little more strength to the upside. Goes. Yes. I hope this Madonna trade works out for you guys. If we can break above, there's a big seller at
Balance June 2020.
450.
On the feed for those interested.
So we got to get above 450. Then we got point of control. We could go to 475. 450 to 475 is like, would be nice. And then we could get the real return to value trade. That might have been, you know, we barely broke the bottom here. So if we could get a nice swing up, that might look good for you guys. Oh, Chuck's here. You've been very quiet, Chuck. Are you trading with the mutineers in the trader lounge? How did it go with your lonesome? Okay, that's good. Did you scalp today, or did you use static profit targets and stops? What did you do differently today? Full Port Friday. I'm pretty sure I saw Austin Silver post that today. Full Port Friday. This is my second account. I traded 5K in my last account. Definitely not one mini. All the minis. I did cut some good losers though. I never really let anything get too far away from me. There was one trade that maybe it got around like a little over 1K. But most I tried to cut around 600-700. Can't get above this big seller, guys. 450 is the level. Could break through, we could run. You could see it on the profile. The absorption. You could also see it on the delta. It's very clear that there's a big seller sitting there. Can't see it as well on this profile. On the HD, let's see if we go to 1 minute. See if that makes a difference. Yeah, you can see it a little better here. That's years of practice, Abe. My small cap days, holding 25,000 shares short on a ripper. Down $20,000 and clawing myself back up to 10K. Those were the days. That's why I'm bald, actually. I made a lot of money, and I also lost a lot of money. I made a lot more than I lost, but at one point I was like, I can't trade like this. Is insane. I'm gonna die a premature death doing this. I would become so locked in and just like freaking out. My adrenal glands were probably just like fried to a crisp. You haven't lived unless you've lost $50,000 in one day. That's how you know you've arrived. But I'd very frequently win 10K on a frequent basis on a day. Shit's crazy. I still have friends that trade like that. Just looking at their posts gives me anxiety. Yeah, they're having like 20K days, Jay Scott, and then they're losing 15, 20K the next day. It's insanity, bro. It's insanity. And they make money. They're making money. It's not like they're, but the toll is huge. Takes a special kind of person. I never signed up for this to be the best trader in the world. That was never my goal. My goal was to make a good living and have my freedom. right? I might not be putting up millions of dollars or, you know, but I make good money. I don't have to, you know, I don't really worry about money. It's nice. And I can sleep at night. Trade halts were the death of me, Jonathan. I would be short 20,000 shares and we'd halt up. And then it would skip and halt up again. And I'd be sitting there wondering, you know, is my broker going to liquidate me before it has a chance to tank? Crazy stuff. Yeah, it's starting to look a little bit like a return to value. All right, we do have this low volume node at 480 now. We're starting to break above that seller. What did I say? 475, right? That's where that was the target. We just got to there, really. That would have been my target, pretty close, 475. And then, you know, if we can trade above 475, 480, we can go back to 95. There we go. It's a good sign. We got to break above this 480. And then we need to spend time back in here in the 480s because this is another distribution right here. Allie, you still in this long? Jay Scott, you guys still holding this thing? I look at both. You know, the middle of high volume nodes are high traffic areas. You expect chop. If we can get past the middle, we can expect to go to the other side. These are all principles of the VWAP Wave System. I actually have, do you have the VWAP Wave Core Setup Guide? It's all in the principles. Somebody else asked about it. Gholam Mahidi. Gholam Mahidi. You can get the guide for it. Awesome, Big Me. Good job, brother. Passed another 50K. Yeah, so the principles in there, Jonathan, are, since I'm essentially done trading for today, I have no problem going into this. There it goes. Well, 500 is going to be a key. You know, we have to get above this stuff. We can see the short squeeze if we can get above the 500s. If we can start trading into the 500s, I think we're safe to go back to VWAP. You know, there's still quite a bit of length. Right? This is still a bearish trend is intact. We still have lower lows, lower highs. So we'll see. Here goes Chuck again. 550 target. It's 75 points away. IB mid. For you guys that are in longs, just because Chuck said it doesn't mean it's going to happen. don't get your hopes up. Oh, yeah. Eventually, one day we will go back to 550 for sure. Awesome, Jonathan. So let's talk about the ledges and stuff. All right, so let's say this is a high volume node. And this is our value area high and our value area low. This is our point of control. So if we're trading in a high volume node, right, we look to fade the value area extremes. Right? If the fade succeeds and we aren't able to escape the balance area, we'll go back to the point of control. If we can't get past the point of control, I expect us to go back to the recent side of value. If we reject again, can't escape value, back to point of control. If we can get past point of control, I expect to go to the other side of value. If we can't get can't break out of value, back to point of control, right? And then we can keep doing this until we fundamentally break one side and go in search of another value area, which the process will repeat. All right, Dave, have a great weekend. I was thinking about doing a crypto stream this Saturday, but I have quite a lot of plans. I don't know if I'm going to be able to pull it off. We'll see. So let's see when it back tests now, right? We can back test where the seller was. 550. Now I think the long is still, we couldn't make it above this low volume node. That is a problem. It's a composite level high volume node. That is a problem. This is a composite from the last probably 5 or 10 sessions. 10 sessions. It's not a previous session volume node, it's a composite volume node. So it's a low volume node of the last 10 sessions combined. And it's clearly a key level. It's been respected multiple times this morning. Be right back, guys. Okay. We got a holiday Monday, right? I'm thinking I'm gonna stream some crypto on Monday if anybody wants to join. See what the futures market's doing. Chuck's the kettle calling the pot calling the kettle black. Who was trading at 2 a.m. the other night? Yeah, I know, Kag. It's just a lot, you know. I already stream 5 days a week for over 2 hours in the morning. That's another couple hours in the evening. I create video content. I'm moderating the Discord. I do a lot of trading outside of the streams too. I do credit spread options trading. I balance my own investments and stocks. I do a ton of shit. I am looking to grow the crypto side of things a lot more. So you can anticipate there being more crypto stuff coming up. I really enjoy the crypto stuff a lot. I really enjoy how crypto moves for trading, for active trading. I don't love the commissions, but that's just cost for entry. How did you find actual footage of me dancing? All right, we're kind of going into the morning slump here. I wouldn't say NQ pump. I'm not convinced one way or the other here. What I see is that we've built a distribution here, right? So we have a value area. Actually, we have a value area. What I think could happen is I think we can flesh out this value area to the upside, or that's one scenario. So up to about, like Chuck said, 550. I think that's a good upside target. I wouldn't call that a pump, but it's a good 75 points. The alternate scenario is we break out of this and we go in search of another distribution much lower. Those are my two thoughts for today. It's always an if this, then that, Jay Scott. I have no crystal ball. I do see two scenarios panning out. And I just trade the chart as it looks like one of the two is going to happen. It's always an if this, that, or if this, then that. If we break over this, I'm looking to go long. If we travel beyond this point of control, I'm looking for shorts. If we hit this level, I'm looking to go long. No, I know. But there's some people that probably just don't understand, you know. Not everybody has been on the stream for as long. So I think it's always good that I get in the habit of explaining what in the world I'm talking about. Nice, a stay. Trading that, what did you get? Is that 100K? Or 200K? That's a 200K. My last arrow is a up arrow. We pretty much called this, you know, fade of the IB high, and it held. I obviously covered it like right here, but for those of you that are still holding, that's quite impressive. It's now turning into a return to value, which I'm not really convinced is going to stick until we get above 500s. And not just take a little peekaboo above 500, but we have to accept above 500. Nice to stay. I'm trading the 250K right now. I did 5K on it. Traded well for the most part. Now we have RTH VWAP at 510. That's going to be a sticky point for sure. All right, Blair. It's Friday. Don't overdo it. Come back fresh Monday. You don't have to trade all day. Dope. Team Drysdale pumping hard money. Dude, if I get the day I take 100K payout on Apex, I haven't gotten a payout on Apex since they implemented their 30% rule. That thing kills me. We'll see if I can do it. I'll try again. As everybody here knows, I like to risk a lot more than 30% of my drawdown on my trades. In prop firm accounts. I mean, Corey, they were the shit back in the day, man. Everybody was trading Apex and making money. Everybody. If you weren't making money with Apex 2 years ago, there was something wrong with you. It was so easy. You just kept buying accounts until you eventually hit. It was like, hey, Chuck, what are you trading? No. What account? Are you on a combine or just paper trading, practicing? Eval, nice. What size eval? I know you usually do the 50Ks. I gotcha. Okay, cool. Well, starting to feel kind of grindy. Yeah, Daryl Martin. Daryl Martin's probably going to die of lung cancer. The guy is always smoking. If I were that rich, I'd quit smoking to ensure I had more life ahead of me to enjoy my money. Allie's going to scalp out of it. She's determined. One win at a time, Allie. You can do this. Easy does it. Just tap it in. Just tap, tap, tap it in. It's a little taparoo. Don't get greedy. Follow the flow. Be one with the market. That was, that's still weekly lower band that it can't seem to get above. $30 at a time would be very slow to come out of a 1K hole. That is for sure. I'm sure 30K losses didn't get you into the 1K hole. $30 losses. $500 is a low volume node on the composite. It's also the weekly lower band. And it's also the value area high of the distribution, the balance area, the biggest one we formed in the session. So there's a lot going on right there to get out of. All right, guys, we're gonna start wrapping it up here. Any questions before I wrap up for the weekend? I think we had a good trading day today. I'm gonna do the recap later today. I think I forgot to do yesterday. I had such a long day yesterday with the master class and getting that edited and out right away. So much stuff. So if you want to keep on trading, you can head on over to the trading floor, the trader lounge. You can share your mic, share your screens. You don't have to go home. You can keep trading with us, collaborate with your fellow VWAP Wave traders. Be sure to enjoy your weekend, and we'll be back at it Monday, 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time for the market open in the Discord, 10 a.m. on YouTube. If you want to check out the Discord this weekend, YouTube peoples, you can get a free trial. There's a full 8-module course in there. It's essentially free on the VWAP Wave System, so be sure to check it out. Yes. So if you're just using the regular free indicators, let me get you that video. And then there's the toolkit, obviously. Yeah, I'm probably going to have a stream on Monday. I'm thinking I am, unless my wife convinces me otherwise. but I doubt she will. So. Hey, Scott, I enjoy the holidays by trading. I love trading. I'm one of you. I love trading. All right. Exactly, Corey. Every day is a holiday. I have a life I don't need to take a holiday from. And Darnby, that's the video you're going to want to watch. Well, the volume exhaust has been acting, once we started accepting in the balance area, it's essentially fade value or extremes. Once you traded above it, you could try and catch longs, return to value, right? So these volume exhaust is very powerful indeed. All right, guys, have a great weekend. I'll see you all on Monday, and I'll be in the Discord this weekend. If you guys have questions, need anything, just give me a tag and I'll be there. Have a great weekend. Manage your risks. Stay sharp out there, and we'll be back at it on Monday.